want to thank Galaxy, this electric harp.
Oh, it is.
Thank you very much for the music. Really eclectic too. I love the. Oh, were you? Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, great. Nice. Made on Long Island. Got it. Yeah, that's her shtick. Hello, everyone. I just want to welcome you here tonight to the Town of Brookhaven's 40th Anniversary Women's Recognition Awards. I want to give a major kudos to the Office of Women's Services for making this an amazing event. My name is Antoinette Biordi. I'm an anchor and reporter for News 12 Long Island. I've been there. I usually don't get that when I go to stories. I usually be like, get out of here. Thank you very much. I've been there about 16 years now. I'm a 4-time Emmy Award winner. And I love my job. I love telling your stories, everyone's stories. I'm thrilled to be part of this award ceremony celebrating the contributions of women here in the town of Brookhaven. So without further ado, let's give a big round of applause and let's welcome the Women's Recognition honorees, followed by the Women's Advisory Board members. I just want to mention Kathleen Weber was already seated right here in the front with the beautiful curls. I just want to say the Women's Advisory Committee was first coming down the aisle. I was just corrected. I wanted to make sure we got that. And the rest of the women who were recognized. And I just want you to stand real quick. We want to do the Pledge of Allegiance. There it is. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Stay standing, please. I'm going to ask Danielle Hoffman to come to the podium to sing the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. She was here, but you guys can go and sit down now, make yourselves comfortable. I'm very excited to be here tonight, not just because I get a half a night off work, but because I genuinely love being a part of the community that celebrates the successes and contributions of women, especially during Women's History Month. And we have a lot to celebrate tonight, right? These women sitting here, extra special. They're making a huge impact in their fields and professions. And to be honest, as women, we face unique challenges. So we have to worry less sometimes about fitting into that glass slipper and more about shattering glass ceilings. You'll hear more about these women as the night goes on, but first, I'd like to introduce to you Lisa Keys, who is the General Services and Office of Women's Services Commissioner. Lisa.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. It is an honor to join you tonight as we celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Town of Brookhaven's Office of Women's Services and recognize an outstanding group of women who have made a meaningful impact in our community. I'd like to warmly welcome the families and friends who are here this evening. Your encouragement plays an important role in the success of our honorees, and we're so glad you're here to celebrate with us. I'd also like to thank Supervisor Dan Panico and the Brookhaven Town Board. Their continued dedication and commitment to the Office of Women's Services is so important and plays such a big role in the town. For 40 years, the Office of Women's Services has been a vital resource in our community, providing support through our Women's Helpline and empowering women through programs such as Dress for Success Brookhaven, which helps women move forward with confidence and independence. I'd also like to acknowledge the Women's Advisory Board, led by Chairwoman Marion McNulty. Marion is a fierce advocate for women, and through her chairwomanship, she has really brought the Office of Women's Services to another platform. There are so many more programs offered within the last several years, and it's due into a big part of Marion's fortitude and her efforts in moving these things forward. With that, I'd also like to acknowledge the Director of Women's Services, that's Sharon Boyd. Where are you? Sharon is also just as fierce, and these two ladies as a duo, just every month when the Women's Advisory Board meet, it's just from one program to the next. What can we do? All of these ladies, they are so committed to moving women forward, supporting women in whatever it is that whatever field they work in. So kudos to both of them. As Commissioner, I have the privilege of seeing firsthand how meaningful this work is, whether it's helping somebody prepare for a new job opportunity or connecting them with some vital resources that they may need during a difficult time. Tonight, we celebrate women whose leadership, service, and compassion have strengthened our community across so many fields, from education and healthcare to public service, business, and beyond. To all of our honorees, thank you for the difference you make. We are proud to celebrate not only your achievements, but the examples you set, reminding us all that when women lead, serve, and support one another, entire communities grow stronger. And now, it is my pleasure to welcome someone, as I said before, Marion McNulty, the chairwoman of the Women's Advisory Board.
Good evening, everyone. This is a wonderful celebration of women in the town of Brookhaven, but it's also a wonderful celebration of their families and their co-workers and all of those who support them on a daily basis. I would like you all to know that the Women's Advisory Board is supported on a daily basis by some very special people. I'd like to start with Lisa Keys. She doesn't give herself enough credit. She is the chairperson, no, she's not the chairperson. She is the commissioner who is the controller, if you will, of what the Women's Services Advisory Board does. We can't do it without you, Lisa. We can't do it at all without you. So I'd like you to stand up so we can give Lisa a long hand. Our Executive Director, Sharon Boyd, without whom this evening would not have happened, without whom all the projects, all the programs, all the things that we do on a daily basis would not get done. Sharon, stand up. And now I'd like to introduce my board. You will hear the groans because I'm going to ask them all to rise when I call their names. First, my co-chair, Marissa Piza. Our secretary, Karen Villegas. Madeline Grasso, who is right behind me in the number of years on the board. Beverly Jefferson, who could not be here with us this evening. My dear friend and supporter, and somebody who calls me when like I'm going off the rails, because sometimes I do that, Wendy Johnson. Sandra Krolik, who is a voice of reason for all of us. Sandra. Colette Morgan, another voice of reason and a very quiet opinion. Corinne Cody, who could not be here with us tonight. And Denise Nostrom, who, if she weren't on the board with us, she'd be my financial advisor. Will you all watch your people, your person, your woman, your honoree, and give her your attention when the time comes, but also pay attention to those other women who are being recognized tonight, for they too are incredibly, enormously impressive. And now, I'd like to introduce the guy who really makes it happen around this town, Supervisor Dan Panama.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you all for turning out for the 40th Annual Women's Recognition Awards. And think about this in 2026, how different a world it was in 1986. Think about the roles in which women play that now vary from the roles that perhaps the majority of them played 40 years ago. I want to thank Lisa Keys, who deserves every honor and recognition tonight bestowed upon her. I want to thank the advisory board. I want to thank Sharon Boyd, who does a great deal to make sure that women, for a variety of reasons, who need things that perhaps some of us may take for granted, workwear, clothing to get back into the workforce and get back on their feet for a variety of reasons. Sharon has created a program supported by many others that is a national model in Dress for Success. So Sharon, thank you very much. And as we stand on the precipice of 250 years in this country, 250 years, remember that it was not only till 1920, in the passage of the 19th Amendment, that women saw the right to vote. And what Antoinette spoke about with regard to glass ceilings as opposed to glass slippers is something really to be taken into account. And by having this program every year, I believe we continue that march toward equality, and we help the women in our society. So thank you all for attending tonight. And I have the distinct honor on the 40th anniversary to honor a person who does not live in the town of Brookhaven, a novelty of sorts, but a person who plays an instrumental role from our neighboring town in the town of Islip. A person who in 1993, because she was persistent, was given the nomination to run for the Suffolk County Legislature, was not given a heck of a lot of support politically, but a person who came from the private sector in graphic design and printing, owned her own small business with her late husband, who worked harder than I'm told anyone saw back in the year 1993. She won by a small margin in that year and never had a competitive race after that. A person who distinguished herself as a role model not only for women, but for anyone seeking elected office, in that she walks the walk. She was elected twice unanimously as deputy presiding officer, then went on to become Suffolk County's treasurer for 12 years until becoming Islip Town supervisor in 2015. She has led Islip, which is the second most populated town in Suffolk County, through a great deal of issues, and has come through with exemplary scores by anyone in the governmental or political realm. She has expanded Islip MacArthur Airport. She is a person who advocates and markets the town of Islip, the likes of which I have never seen, and a person who defines what it means to protect these suburban values for the, why we live here on Long Island, but also recognizes that growth is necessary. She is a role model and a person who is certainly fitting to receive this award tonight on the 40th anniversary. It is my honor to introduce Islip Town Supervisor Angie Carter.
I didn't expect to be speaking with all these honorees, so I'll be very brief. But you embarrassed me a little bit, Dan, with all those beautiful things that you said. But you and the town of Brookhaven are very, very fortunate to have a supervisor the likes of Dan Panico and a town board that truly represents the residents of this really great, wonderful town. It's not Islip, but it's pretty special. And I can't tell you how pleased I am to have received this, to have heard all those kind words, but most especially to be able to say that your supervisor is my friend. Thank you so much.
And it's my honor to introduce the council member from the 1st District.
So there are quite a few extraordinary women here who we're going to meet and we're going to hear from. One of them has lived through about 40% of the history of the entire timeline of the United States of America. She's almost 100 years old, and she came of age at a time when. Listen. Let's be frank. It's never been an easy pathway for women to make their way and to make their mark. But 60, 70, 80 years ago, when my honoree Seidel Castell was making her way, you had to be more than just a brave woman or someone with good stick-to-itiveness, as my mom would say. But she was truly a trailblazer. She was 10 years old when the 19th Amendment was passed, that the supervisor mentioned, which gave her the right to vote. She's lived here in Brookhaven for 61 years. She found meaning in service to her family and her community. She was a reading assistant or monitor at Napscake Elementary, and she had a passion for helping others reach beyond what their perceived limitations were. And in some ways, you can say that her wings were clipped in her early year. With growing up in a family with limited resources, choices were made to divert resources so that her brother could receive more benefits of higher education, certain privileges that she didn't get a chance to enjoy. But there was still something inside her that wanted to share her light with others. And even though she couldn't become a teacher, as was her dream, she still has acted as a teacher and an educator in many ways. From working in the school, she had a chance to work with children. She turned to higher education in 1978. She went back to school. She marched for women's rights in the 70s. She traveled the world and became the first female president of the Lions Club. She then later became an original resident at Brightview Senior Living here in Portchester Station. She is known as someone who welcomes every new resident that moves in. She's recognized by her signature purple hair. She had herself repurpled for our event tonight. She broke the mold for herself and for other women in the past and showed that it's never too late to expand your horizons. At 96 years old, Seidel Castell deserves recognition for truly a lifetime of achievement and service to others.
And I never really realized that I would live to 96 years old. And when I was doing these things, it was unusual as for a woman of my generation in 1930 when I was born. I have been through quite a bit in life, but I have been blessed. Meeting people all over, friends, people like you, and I have been honored. I want you to know I am very humble. And thank you so much for coming.
She gives shorter speeches than me, John.
We'll pull this up high because Councilman Neil is very tall. Councilman Neil.
I'm going to step away from the microphone for 1 second to help my recipient come up. Mrs. Costello, I'd like to thank you for being the trailblazer that you are. This woman who was born in 1964 certainly appreciates all that you've done and all that you offer. And even though you don't think you could accomplish what you thought you wanted to accomplish, you have accomplished a great deal. So thank you. The supervisors made great improvements to this room, but yet we still have a wobbly microphone. So tonight it's my honor to recognize my friend, Kathy Weber, for her outstanding dedication to the Rocky Point community. She's a membership secretary for the Rocky Point Civic Association and has spent years bringing people together through countless beautification projects, community events, and local traditions that truly make Rocky Point feel like home. And it's been my home for over 38 years.
From helping grow the beloved annual garden tour, which started out for a few houses to now has dozens of houses, that you can't believe the beautiful secret gardens in the hills of Rocky Point, to leading holiday decorating and beautification efforts, Kathy's creativity and commitment are visible throughout our hamlet. She has also worked tirelessly to secure new welcome signage, applying for grants from every level of government, and she inspires residents of all ages to take pride in our community. Whether serving with the Civic Association, the Garden Club, she's a Fire Department League's auxiliary member. Kathy is always there giving her time and energy. Tonight, we proudly recognize her as a truly deserving honoree. And before we all recognize how awesome she is, I want you to know that this is her very first big outing besides doctor appointments and other things that she needed to do as she's recovering from leukemia.
So I was actually in the hospital for 3 months, and I just got home like 3 weeks ago. And while I was in my hospital bed, my daughter called me and said, Jane wants to honor you this year for the women's recognition. And I was just like, oh my God, this is just a great honor and a great program for women that, spend a lot of time, personal time volunteering. Of course, it's all volunteer. But I loved doing it when I first moved to Rocky Point in 2006. And I joined the Civic, and then I met Jane. And like, how come we don't have these beautiful hanging baskets like Patchogue and Port Jeff? And she's like, do them.
She was pretty relentless.
And now we have them.
And now we have beautiful things, and a lot of it is through Kathy's efforts and stick-to-itiveness, as Jonathan's mom would say. Never give upness, and don't be surprised if she doesn't knock on your door for a contribution for our flowering pots. So
Yes.
congratulations,
Thank
Kathy.
you. Thank you.
Neil Manzella.
So my honoree tonight is Rita Tsoukaris. And with a career spanning over 3 decades, Rita is a seasoned real estate expert who's been making a significant impact in the Long Island community since 1990. As a top producing agent with Century 21 in the early days, Rita quickly rose to the #1 spot in Suffolk County. In 2006, she took the reins as a lead broker and the owner of her own real estate office in Centerbridge. Her passion for helping people achieve their home ownership dreams and assist agents to thrive in their business has been the driving force behind her success. Rita's commitment to the community extends far beyond the real estate world. As an active board member of the Middle Country Education Foundation, the vice president of the Centerbridge Civic Association, she is deeply invested in the well-being of her community. Her dedication to giving back is evident in the numerous charitable initiatives she and her team undertake, including awarding the Rita Tsoukaris Scholarship to 2 deserving local high school students every year, preparing dinner baskets at Thanksgiving for families in need, and adopting families for Christmas, and donating to the Cohen's Medical Center in New Hyde Park every year for every home bought or sold with Team Rita. Under Rita's leadership, Team Rita has achieved, by the way, Team Rita, shout out in the front row over here, so you guys. Rita and her team are at every single community event you could possibly think of, giving back, donating time, donating their effort, and helping out with the community. Under her leadership, Team Rita has achieved remarkable success. A talented team of agents and staff by their side, Rita continues to prioritize client service, earning her a reputation as a trusted and reliable real estate expert. In 2018, Rita sold her office to focus on serving clients and growing her team. In 2023, she joined Realty Connect USA, bringing her expertise and a commitment to the new team. Rita was awarded again top agent company-wide in 2025. Throughout her career, Rita has remained true to her core values, exceptional client service, community involvement, and a passion for helping others. Her determination to win clients for life has earned her and her team a loyal following, and it is those traits that make her such a valuable partner to an elected official. And then I see Leah in the back shaking her head, President of Center Civic. If you need anything in the Middle Country community, you've probably seen Rita's face somewhere around the community, and if not, you'll see her at the events helping out. And for all of those reasons and a million more, my honoree is Rita Tsoukaris.
Thank you, Councilman Manzella, for all your support and your commitment to our community. It is a great honor to receive the Town of Brookhaven Women's Recognition Award. Thank you. This award represents not just my dedication, but the shared commitment we have to always making a positive difference to everyone and especially to our community. Thank you.
And with that, I'll bring up our councilman from the 4th District, Michael Garcia.
Well, hey everybody, thank you for being here tonight. And standing behind me, or sitting behind me, are such wonderful and amazing women who have done such tremendous things in our community and in our town. And my honoree tonight, who is Captain Fritz, works in an area that so many of us are fortunate enough and so very blessed to not really see some of the amazing things that she does. Catherine is the president and CEO of Long Island Cares and brings over 30 years of nonprofit leadership to her role. She's a lifelong champion for mission-driven organizations, and she leads the regional food bank with a focus on equity, collaboration, and long-term solutions to hunger. Her vision strengthens partnerships, expands impactful programs, and advances a hunger-free Long Island. Catherine, thank you for everything that you do for all of those folks that are in need and for helping everyone in the town of Brookhaven. Please come up. Thank you.
I was not prepared to say a few words, but as a president and CEO, I feel like you always have to be prepared. So first, I want to say how honored I am to be flanked by some amazing women tonight. It really is humbling to be in a room filled with people who are so dedicated to serving their community. But I'm also here representing what people don't see across Long Island, is the more than 300,000 people who struggle every day with hunger here on Long Island. So while it's part of my job, it is also part of my upbringing. I did not grow up on Long Island. I grew up upstate New York, but I understand food insecurity at a different level. So every day, myself and many of the women who are here today have volunteered to help in the community in so many ways. I urge all of you to look to your own neighborhoods and look to your own communities, like the women behind me have done, to strengthen your children, your mothers, your sisters, to strengthen families here on Long Island. And I'm just so appreciative of this recognition. So thank you so much.
So now I get another honor to bring up Kevin Laval, our Brookhaven Town Clerk. Kevin?
Thank you, Mike. As mentioned, I am Brookhaven Town Clerk Kevin Laval. I will be playing Councilman Neil Foley tonight. He is unable to be with us, having some health issues, but he's doing well. But I know he specifically wanted me to come tonight and honor his honoree tonight. Somebody he knows very well and somebody that he speaks very fondly. He knows her and her family very well, so I know it means a lot to Neil. Neil's honoree tonight is Samantha Cardullo, and Samantha's a dedicated special education teacher with 20 years of experience at Eastern Suffolk BOCES, supporting students with diverse learning needs. Throughout her career, she has been committed to creating an inclusive and supportive environment where the students can thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. Beyond the classroom, she is deeply involved in supporting school and community initiatives. She provides donations of school supplies each September for students in financial strain. 8 years ago, she started to organize the collection of prom dresses and suits to ensure underprivileged students could attend prom. She continues to help decorate and chaperone the event every year. She also runs multiple fundraisers throughout the school year to support students' activities and coordinate a holiday auction for the last 18 years, so every student can receive a new gift during the holiday season. During the month of November, to honor staff and students, Samantha decorated the entire school with pictures of veterans from both staff and students' families, as well as large posters of various wars and veterans' facts, so that the entire school community could celebrate Veterans Day together. She's truly passionate about advocating for students and helping each one feel valued, supported, and celebrated, as well as making all staff members feel inclusive to the Sequoia High School program. On behalf of the town and the town board, Samantha, we want to recognize you on behalf of Councilman Foley, congratulate you on everything that you do for the community. Come on up.
Thank you. This is my 20th year at Eastern Suffolk BOCES. I'm a U.S. history teacher at Sequoia High School. History is my second passion, and as I tell my students that when you graduate, you may not always know what you want to do, and I am a prime example of that. My entire high school career, even when I was little, I studied music, 25 years classical piano, I was a singer, and I knew that when I graduated high school, even when the guidance counselors told me to maybe pick a second option, I knew that I wanted to be famous. So I went to 5 Towns College, I got a degree in music business, I moved to California, I joined a girl group, I recorded, and I hated every moment of it. A year later, I moved home and I didn't know what to do with myself, and somebody I knew worked at BOCES and said, hey, why don't you come sub while you're waiting? And I started subbing and I fell in love with it. The teacher I was a TA with, he instilled a passion in me that I absolutely loved, and here I am 20 years later. I love my students, I love what I do. I never want a kid to ever feel underprivileged, so I've done what I've done just to make them feel better, and I also can't say thank you enough to my administrator for allowing my crazy ideas to go through every year, but I've worked with a bunch of fantastic principals and staff, so thank you very much.
And now I will bring up from the 6th District, our 6th District Councilwoman, Karen W. Kessler.
This is my third recognition ceremony, and I know that each year we try to think of who we know in our community that has had the most impact on people and has made a tremendous difference in people's lives. And this year my honoree is Kim Zawicki. I hope I pronounced that last name correctly. Kim has been a resident of Mastic for over 20 years, together with her husband Darren, and I believe Darren and her 2 children, Carter and Caitlin, are here tonight. She has worked, her full-time job is, she's worked for 25 years for Central Islip School District in Angie's district, where she serves as a senior office assistant. But what matters more to me is the things she's done for the Brookhaven community. She also serves as community liaison for the 3rd Senate District and Senator Dean Murray, which is how many of us have dealt with her through the years. She is also president of the Mastic Shirley Chamber of Commerce, which is a wonderful, vibrant chamber and does so many things for a very needy community. She also founded a nonprofit called Caitlin's Vision, which is based on her advocacy, awareness, and support of children with visual impairments, and it's based on her inspiration, which is her own daughter, Caitlin, who was diagnosed with a rare eye disease, and she named her organization Caitlin's Vision. Her initiative and strength and commitment to the community have allowed her to become actively involved with the chamber and was on the board of directors, and now she's the president. She's dedicated her entire life to giving back to our community, and she's made a lasting, positive difference and continues to emphasize her values of service. So come on up, Kim.
Thank you so much, Karen. I listen and hear about the women that came before us, which are super important and broke boundaries so that us women could be here today. But we also can't forget about the women that are coming up behind us. They're the ones that are watching us, that are hearing us, and that are inspiring to one day be us. So for little ones like my daughter, let's remember to be a positive role model, and let's break barriers for them too. Thank you so much.
I would like to once again bring up Mary McNulty, who is going to lead us off in the second half. This is the Women's Advisory Honorees. Marion?
The next women who you will see are the nominees in the various areas of, I was gonna say competition, but that's not really what it is. Well, it is a competition. Believe me, in some of the categories, it was a competition, I can tell you that. And we're happy to see that because there are enough people in the Brookhaven community who want to see their teacher, their volunteer, their person in the arts, their person in medicine be nominated for one of these awards. And it is competitive because the more women you see, the more you realize I was a recipient of this award in 1988. That just shows you how old I am. But I look at the women and I say, oh my God, how could I be in the presence of these women who are so much and who do so much for the community? And without further ado, I would like to introduce Board Member Wendy Johnson to introduce our awardee in the arts.
Good evening, everyone. It is truly an honor and a pleasure to introduce our first honoree of the evening in the arts category, Dr. Tammy Nizzle Morgan. Dr. Tammy Nizzle Morgan is the first woman to be appointed Suffolk County Poet Laureate, 2009 through 2011. In 2018, she was honored as Long Island Poet of the Year by the WWBP. She is founder and president of the Long Island Poetry and Literature Repository and served as editor and publisher of Wild Side Press. Dr. Tammy Nizzle Morgan is a prolific author, having written 6 chapbooks, a memoir, a children's book, and an 8-book series titled Sadie's Farm. Her body of work also includes 2 collections of poetry, scholarly essays, and The Healing Power of Poetry, Living with the Death of a Child. She currently teaches the Liberal Arts Department at Long Island University. Dr. Tammy Nizzle Morgan, we believe your voice is powerful, your work is meaningful, and your impact is everlasting. And tonight we celebrate not only her achievements, but the legacy she continues to build through every word she writes and every life she touches. Please welcome Dr. Tammy Nizzle Morgan.
I just want to tell you, words can heal as well as hurt. Use yours wisely, and thank you all so much.
Hi, she, big shoes. Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to introduce somebody that I had the privilege of working with probably about 10 years ago through our Chamber of Commerce right here in the town of Farmingville. I was blown away by her business concept when I met her, and I'm so thrilled to see her be honored this evening. As the owner of a thriving rice pudding manufacturing business, Maria Kamasa blends entrepreneurship with a deep commitment to community service. Beyond building her brand, she dedicates her time to mentoring women and college students, offering guidance, encouragement, and real-world insight to help shape future leaders. She consistently organizes and donates her products to support families and community initiatives. And during the challenges of COVID-19, she rose to the moment, organizing fundraisers that provided critical support to those in need. For more than 31 years, Maria has led an annual Santa Bag event, benefiting a local family shelter, bringing joy and essential items to countless individuals. Her new endeavor is supporting young people in recovery. She helps create educational and uplifting experiences that demonstrate recovery can be joyful, empowering, and full of possibility. Her life is a testament to compassion in action, steady leadership, and unwavering dedication to lifting others. It is my honor tonight to present Maria the award in business.
Hi everyone, I'm Maria. We weren't expecting to speak at all. So first of all, I just want to congratulate the other women and also thank you too, because you inspired me to continue to do the work that we do out there. And also too, you know what, this is, to us, this isn't neat. Like I was given a second chance in life and I just want to pass it on, what was given back to me. And like you said, I have a responsibility when I walk out that door to be a warrior woman that walks with dignity, grace and strength for everyone. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. I'm Carolyn, and I'm on the board as well, and I have the pleasure this evening of introducing Laura Mullen. She is a nationally recognized advocate, educator, and survivor leader working to advance the fight against human trafficking. As a survivor, Laura has transformed her lived experience into a powerful platform for advocacy, education, and systematic change. She serves as an anti-trafficking department coordinator at ECLI Vibes and is president of the Survivor Advisory Board, which is the first survivor-led advisory board of its kind on Long Island. Laura plays a key role in coordinating survivor services, facilitating partnerships with community agencies, and leading trauma-informed advocacy efforts. Since 2020, she has trained more than 60,000 professionals and community members on human trafficking awareness, survivor-centered care, and prevention strategies. She is also actively involved in legislative advocacy, helping advance policies that support survivors and strengthen protections for vulnerable populations. Laura's work continues to empower survivors, influence policy, and build stronger, more compassionate systems of care within communities. It is my honor to introduce Laura Mullen for outstanding service to the community as a community service professional.
She's not going to cry, so that's awesome. I'm not going to cry either. I am just going to say that 6 years ago, I was called an addict, an inmate, and all these other words, right? And when I seen this brochure today, it said next to my name, professional. 6 years ago, I never would have thought I'd be standing up here, and I never would have thought I was a professional. My boss is back there. I'm quite unprofessional sometimes. But I put my heart into the work that I do, and thank you, everybody. I also bought my house last year in the town of Brookhaven, so thank you for having me.
I do it every time with her. Okay, I'm up here again because I have the honor to introduce our next recipient, Irina Richardson. Irina Richardson retired years ago as Deputy Sheriff from the Suffolk County Sheriff's Office. Irina decided she wanted to continue to give back to the community. So in 2015, she became certified as a rape crisis counselor and began her journey as a volunteer. In 2016, she moved to Pennsylvania, became certified as a sexual assault counselor, and volunteered in Pittsburgh in the Action Against Rape. In 2018, she accepted a paralegal position at the Claudia McCarthy Legal Center of Survivors in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And when in 2019 that center shut down, Irina returned back to Suffolk County. Irina was already familiar with what was then known as VIBES, through her work as the Deputy Sheriff with Suffolk County Sheriff's Department, where she served in the Domestic Violence Unit. So in 2020, she made the decision to become recertified as a rape crisis counselor and began volunteering with the nonprofit agency, which was once VIBES and is now ECLI VIBES, where she continues today to give back to her community. It is my honor to introduce Irina in the outstanding service to the community as a community service volunteer.
I don't have a speech. I just wanted to say it was a great honor to be nominated and an even greater honor to have won. So thank you.
Hello, I'm Sandy Krolik, and as a retired language teacher, shout out to Center Ridge High School many years ago, I'm really happy to introduce to you our honoree for the field of education tonight. Monica Poulos-Tetuan, a bilingual, bicultural, first-generation American, has proudly served the South Country Central School District for 19 years as an ENL, that's English for New Learners, teacher and administrator, including the past 8 as the district's first director of ELL, English Language Learners, bilingual and world language programs. She has dedicated her career to expanding educational access and equity for English language learners and their families, keeping students and families at the center of her work while strengthening community connections. Monica feels privileged to serve this vibrant community and considers it an honor to support students' academic, linguistic, and social emotional growth. A graduate of Pace University with a Bachelor's of English, she holds a Master's in TESOL, that's teaching English to speakers of other languages, from LIU, and another Master's in Educational Leadership from Fordham. She's a doctoral candidate focused on educating diverse learners with an emphasis on equity. Monica is committed to building relationships that foster mindset and cultural lens shifts, creating environments where growth can truly happen. It's my honor to introduce you to Monica Poulos-Tetuan.
Wow, my heart is so full of joy in this moment. Thank you so much. I feel honored and privileged to be recognized among these incredibly exceptional women. I have had the great blessing of being able to go to work every day and do soul work, work that is meaningful, that impacts lives. And I'm privileged to serve the beautiful immigrant community on Long Island, and I dedicate this award to them. Thank you.
I am incredibly privileged to introduce Ellen Komasinski.
Yeah!
I knew that. I did that deliberately. Proudly starting her municipal career in the town of Brookhaven in 1991, Ellen Komasinski transferred to the Suffolk County Department of Health, Division of Emergency Medical Services, and spent the next 22 years as a dedicated educator spearheading the county's public access defibrillation program, working with the American Heart Association to lead the county's training center. She has been especially instrumental in promoting proper access to out-of-hospital cardiac arrest response. She is well known at the County Emergency Operations Center, serving county residents and first responders during the worst of emergencies, especially during extreme weather events such as the one we had, was that only 2 or 3 weeks ago? She has been the County Critical Incident Management Team Coordinator, which I'm not going to explain it, but it means you're in charge when there's a disaster. That's kind of what it means. She is the coordinator since 2001, supporting first responders around the county and in the town of Brookhaven who experience mental trauma during their work as volunteers. Her nearly 50 years of service reflects her commitment to the emergency medical services and community service. There is absolutely no doubt that she has dedicated her life to the county of Suffolk and the town of Brookhaven, her home community. I am so honored to introduce to you Ellen Komisinski for outstanding service to the community as a first responder.
Thank you, everyone. It's amazing. I have my support, Brookhaven Fire Department, Brookhaven Fire Department Auxiliary, South Country Ambulance Company, my co-workers at Department of Fire Rescue and Emergency Services, and my family. Thank you all. Who would ever think that I would think 50 years ago I would fill out an application to serve the community alongside my father, my brothers, my childhood best friend, and it would take me to become an EMT, CPR instructor, EMT instructor, and have the best job working for Suffolk County and doing everything that Marion had said. So much so that I retired in 2021, and after 3.5 years, I went back in June. So I thank you all. This is such an honor. I appreciate this very much. And thank you all. Again, thank you for saying.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to do something a little different. I am going to call up our recipient in the Women in Government Award, and her name is Josephine Mundy. Okay. Josephine Lundy serves as an interface coordinator for the town of Brookhaven, where she has dedicated 18 years of service to strengthening and uplifting the community. Through her leadership, compassion, and tireless commitment to public service, Josie has become a driving force behind some of Brookhaven's most impactful community initiatives. As the recipient of the Women in Government Award, Josie is recognized not only for her professional excellence, but also for her extraordinary dedication to serving families in need. Under her coordination, Josie's food drive for Thanksgiving feeds thousands of families throughout the town of Brookhaven each year. The toy drive brings joy to more than 8,000 children annually, ensuring the holiday season is brighter for families across the community. Josie also leads an annual back-to-school supply program that supports numerous schools within Brookhaven, providing essential supplies to students in need so that they can begin the school year prepared and confident. She coordinates student volunteers, helping young people earn required community service credits while instilling in them the value of civic engagement and service. Working alongside more than a dozen agencies, Josie organized a large-scale annual coat drive to provide warmth during the cold winter months. Additionally, the prom gown program gives young women the opportunity to select beautiful new gowns and accessories, allowing them to experience their prom with confidence and dignity. Highly organized and deeply committed, Josie's leadership is the foundation of the Interfaith program's continued success. Her ability to manage large-scale initiatives with precision and heart has positively impacted thousands of lives throughout the town of Brookhaven. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the woman in government, Josephine Josie Lundy.
Put on my spectacles. Good evening, everyone. My name is Colette Morgan, and I'm a member of the Women's Advisory Board for the past 10 years or so. And I'm going to be introducing, or I have the privilege of introducing, Nicole Amendolia for outstanding service to the community as a healthcare provider. Nicole has the following designations after her name: MSN, RN, PCCN, okay, had to look that up. It is Progressive Care Knowledge Professional, and it is a certification that's awarded by the American Association of Critical Care for nurses' specialty certification that influence the care of acutely ill adults. So she goes over and beyond. And of course, with all the dedications and with all the things after your name, nobody cares unless you have the ability to listen, respond, and work well as a team. And that is why her group selected her for this award. She's a dedicated nurse leader with over 10 years of leadership experience at Mather Hospital. She's currently a nurse manager. She leads with compassion and deep belief in the power of nursing. Nicole is committed to creating a supportive, inclusive environment where nurses feel heard, valued, and empowered. She is passionate about developing nurses at every stage of practice through mentorship, professional advancement, and clinical excellence, which is critical. Known for consistency going above and beyond her role, Nicole provides both professional guidance and heartfelt support. Her ability to listen, respond, collaborate has a meaningful impact on those around her, whether she's supporting her staff through personal challenges or accelerating and advocating for her patients and their families. Nicole fosters a culture of safety, accountability, collaboration, while overseeing unit operations to ensure regulatory compliance and quality outcomes with efficient workflows. Nicole's leadership philosophy is rooted in service, integrity, and trust. We all want nurses like that, with the mission to inspire confidence, support resilience, and build high-performing teams committed to compassionate, patient-centered care and nursing excellence. If you've ever been in the hospital, you realize how important this is. Thank you, Nicole.
I just want to say thank you to my leaders for putting in my submission for this, and I'm truly humbled to receive this recognition. Thank you.
Good evening. I hope you're enjoying this wonderful evening so far. We're moving right along. We're coming close to the end. My name is Denise Snowstrom, and I'm the board member of the Women's Advisory Services. I just have to say this one little piece because I know a few of these women back there. As women, we just do things without really any need for pomp and circumstance. So it's beautiful to have an event like this to give women the recognition they deserve because they just do it, and that's what's so amazing about women. So I want to congratulate all the honorees, but I have the pleasure of presenting awards to 2 individuals this evening. The first category is going to be the legal professional, and Dana was unable to be here, Dana Castaldo, but we do have someone here to accept for her. Accepting on her behalf is Division Chief Megan O'Donnell from DA Ray Tierney's office. So Dana, if you want to join me. I'm going to read her bio so you know all about her. We're sad that she wasn't able to come tonight. But Dana M. Castaldo is an assistant district attorney in Suffolk County, New York, where she is dedicated to prosecuting serious crimes and advocating for victims of violence and abuse. A graduate of Touro University, Jacob Fuchsberg Law Center, she serves in the Child Abuse and Domestic Violence Bureau, handling complex and sensitive cases with tenacity and compassion. Throughout her career, ADA Castaldo has secured significant convictions in cases involving the sexual abuse of children and domestic violence, obtaining lengthy state prison sentences, and ensuring accountability for offenders while protecting vulnerable members of the community. Her work reflects a deep commitment to justice, integrity, and public service. Outside the courtroom, ADA Castaldo is a devoted wife and the proud mother of 3 children. She values family, community, and the responsibility of serving the county she calls home, Suffolk County. So it's good stuff. So thank you for being here.
I just want to quickly say I've worked with Dana for well over a dozen years, and she is a dedicated prosecutor and an excellent trial attorney. Any child victim or any victim here in Suffolk County is proud to have her advocate on their behalf. So on behalf of Dana, thank you, and to all the women up here, keep doing what you're doing because you make us all proud. Thank you.
Okay, our next contestant is going to be in the military category. We have Phyllis Baccio. So Phyllis is of Selden, New York. She's a United States Navy veteran who served on active duty from 2004 to 2007 at the Pacific Missile Range Facility, Barking Sands in Kauai, Hawaii. Quite an experience. After her military service, Phyllis continued her commitment to serving others through a career in nursing. Phyllis is a registered nurse at the Long Island State Veterans Home located in Stony Brook, New York. Phyllis's military service helped foster discipline, resilience, and a profound commitment to serving others. As a registered nurse board certified in geriatrics, Gero, BC, and a holder of an MSN in nursing leadership, Phyllis leads with integrity, compassion, and resilience, core values shaped by both her military background and professional nursing experience. So quite a career, and you should be quite proud of all that. So thank you.
Navy, and for my children for being here, my daughters, you guys will be up here one day.
Okay, so I'm back with you again. Our next honoree is in the category of religion. She is Pastor Bettina Penny, a leader whose life is a testament to faith, service, and the power of grace. She has dedicated herself to uplifting the spirits of all those who she encounters. Pastor Bettina is a native of Long Island, New York. She embodies a humble servant spirit and carries a deep, unwavering love for the people of God. Having been uniquely positioned to understand life's challenges, she has developed a passion for sharing God's love and the blessings that come with being a chosen vessel. Bettina stands as living proof that the anointing makes a difference. She is highly sought after as a vocalist who is ministered throughout the country. Bettina is the youngest daughter of the late Dr. Roy L. Penning and Dr. Lillian Penning. In May 2019, she was appointed pastor of her childhood church. She holds a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Human Development from Hofstra University and a Master's degree in Human Services from Stony Brook University. Above all, Bettina is a proud mother of her only son, Bryce Harris, who is a graduate of Howard University. Yay. Pastor Penning's commitment to her calling and her academic excellence serves as a beacon of hope for the next generation. We are proud to honor her tonight for her extraordinary contributions. I introduce to you Pastor Penning.
First, let me say thank you. It is certainly an honor to be celebrated with these amazing ladies. And thank you to Elaine Hoskins, who nominated me. It is certainly my joy to be able to be a servant leader. Before I became a pastor, I was a singer first, and have been fortunate enough to be able to travel the world. Not that I have the greatest voice, but I do love music. And so if I can sing a little insert, it says, from the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean, white with foam, God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Our honoree this evening in the field of medicine is Professor Anissa Abidargam. Dr. Anissa Abidargam is Chair of Psychiatry and Behavioral Health, Lurie Endowed Chair in Psychiatry, SUNY Distinguished Professor, and Associate Dean for Clinical and Translational Science at Stony Brook University's Renaissance School of Medicine. Dr. Abidargam was born in Beirut, Lebanon, where she obtained her medical degree. She did her training at the University of Tennessee in Memphis, followed by research fellowships at the National Institute of Mental Health and Yale University. She's an internationally recognized leader in the use of molecular imaging of the human brain to study schizophrenia and its comorbidity with addiction. In recognition for her work, she received the Lieber Prize for Outstanding Research in Schizophrenia from the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation, was elected to the National Academy of Medicine in 2016, and served as president of the American College of Neuropsychopharmacology in 2017. She is also currently chairing the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders Subcommittee on Candidate Biomarkers and Biological Factors. Speak about foreign language for me. And so I'd like to welcome and congratulate Dr. Anissa Abidargam.
I know
know it's very late, so I'll be brief. I want to say how much of an honor it is to be included with this lineup of inspiring women. And I want to thank Council and the advisory group on women's services for doing what they're doing. I think this is very important, especially in these times, these very chaotic times, to take a minute to recognize each other's contributions, especially recognize women. So thank you very much. I'm honored.
Our awardee for outstanding service to our community in the field of science is Dr. Elke Aschenauer. She joined Brookhaven National Lab as a staff scientist in 2009 and received tenure in 2010 after having earned her PhD in physics from the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich in 1994. After a postdoctoral fellowship from the European Union, she joined DESY, D-E-S-Y, one of the world's leading centers for research on and with particle accelerators in Hamburg, Germany, and ultimately became the run coordinator and spokesperson for the Hermes, H-E-R-M-E-S project. At Brookhaven, Dr. Aschenauer was named an APS Fellow in 2012, a Distinguished Scientist in 2015, a Humboldt Research Awardee in 2017, and in 2018, the BNL Science and Technology Awardee, as well as Secretary of Energy's Achievement Awardee in the same year. At BNL, Dr. Aschenauer is currently leading the Cold QCD Research Group and is the Co-Associate Director for the Experimental Program at the EIC, the new electron-ion collider to be constructed at BNL. And all I can think of is the Women's Day slogan, which is never underestimate the power of a woman. Elke Aschenauer is the embodiment of what we hope our daughters and our sons will achieve in science in their futures as leaders paving the way to a better future for all of us. Dr. Elke Aschenauer.
Thank you very much. I'm extremely honored to receive that award, especially after I learned what wonderful things my as honorees do for the society. I would like to thank my colleagues, which made my work every day wonderful and a lot of fun, because I can do what I always wanted to do and dream of. And I would like to invite all of you to learn about the wonderful science and share it, and come to Brookhaven. If we have open house days, to learn about what we do at RIC and what the electron-ion collider will do, and what actually the project does for the community, because we couldn't do it with everybody around us really helping us. We need everybody, from the people helping us to get food at Brookhaven to actually all the scientists. So thank you very much, and I'm really honored to receive that prize.
Hello again, everyone. My name is Marissa Kaiser, and I am the Vice Chair of the Women's Advisory Board. First and foremost, as we close out this evening, can you please join me in a round of applause for the phenomenal They are truly incredible, and I want to especially always thank our supervisor, our town board, Commissioner Keys, our program director Sharon Boyd, our wonderful chair, Mary McNulty, and our wonderful board for allowing us to recognize the phenomenal trailblazers that we have here in the town of Brookhaven, doing incredible things every day that people may not even realize, and it's an honor for all of us to be able to highlight their wonderful work and achievements right here in our great township this evening. So thank you, all of you, for your support and for joining us this evening. And we invite you to join us right back in the cafeteria for some refreshments to celebrate everyone for the end of the evening. So thank you for joining us. Congratulations again to the nominees, and have a wonderful evening.